Okay, welcome back to another episode of Mindful Minute. It's Gabby. I am back. Sorry, I'm taking off the cap from a sparkling water. So, I recently just came back from a trip that I took to Italy. Ugh, you guys, it was so beautiful. I loved every single moment of it. And today I just want to tell you about it because I feel like I couldn't really think of already I don't want to force my content, so I feel like because of the fact that I don't want to force anything, I want to just talk about whatever comes to mind. And what's coming to mind is my experience in Italy. I'm definitely going to be going back, I'll tell you that much. I definitely want to have my Eat Pray Love tour. So that's a goal for the future. Anyways, so we did a family trip to Italy, and we went to, why am I forgetting? Venice, Rome, Milan, and Lake Como was the last spot in Italy. And honestly, I loved I loved every single part of Italy. I feel like they are all so different from one another. Like, you go from Venice to Rome. Venice is like a chill-ish kind of low-key-ish kind of laid-back situation, but then you go to Rome, and Rome is basically like Manhattan. It's like super crowded, super busy, lots of people, lots of things happening at once. It's kind of like sensory overload sometimes, but they have like the Vatican there, the Colosseum, the Sistine Chapel. um so during my time in Italy, and if you want to really enjoy a lot of the content that I took there, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. It's My Vision, the number 4, the letter U. Subscribe, please. Thank you very much. Um, excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Um, so my time in Italy was so amazing because I'm not gonna lie though. Let me first of all, before I even get into the good stuff and the emotional kind of sentimental parts of it, I do want to say I'm not gonna lie, the first few days of the trip, I did not like. I didn't. Okay, it's not that I didn't like it, right? Also, I'm laying in my bed, so if you hear movement, it's just me moving. Um, so, cause why not, right? I'm comfortable. I want you to be comfortable. Let's just chill out. We'll talk about my trip to Italy, whatever, and probably get into some other topics. So the first few days in Venice was it was cool and whatever. We got to do a gondola ride, which I really loved that. I would totally do another gondola ride. But next time I go to Italy, I want it to be my Eat Pray Love. I almost said Eat Pray tour. Eat Pray Love tour. So you know. And I'm definitely doing another gondola ride. Anyways, so we did a gondola ride. And then the second day, we did a tour of the Doge's Palace, which was it was super cool. I loved it and it was dope. But that second day, I was just whoa, is this what Italy is like? Am I doing all of this walking? And if you're just going to Italy just for just to be around the locals and experience the Italy lifestyle, then that's one thing. But if you're going there and you know you're going to be doing a bunch of tours, I'm going to just let you know right now, please, please, please pack a set of comfortable shoes. Make sure that that's top of your list. If you don't have comfortable shoes, and if you can afford buying a new set of comfortable shoes, make sure that you can do that. So see, I made the mistake of wearing my semi-comfortable shoes, but not completely walking around comfortable shoes, right? That first tour. And I dreaded it because it was exhausting. The Doge's Palace has a lot of stairs. It's a lot of climbing. It's a lot of walking. And so immediately, once we got into like the second hour, because a lot of these tours are like 3 hours long, by the time we got into like the second hour, I was like, oh my gosh, like my feet are actually hurting, like they're really really hurting. And so I really was like struggling there for a little while. And then like the rest of the tours were pretty smooth sailing. However, there were still days where like I was super super out of it and like super tired, cuz like what the one thing I didn't love though is the fact that we were like getting up super early too. Like we were getting up at like 8 o'clock, 8:30. Now maybe for you that's like your normal, like you get up around that time. No, no, I'm at least in bed till like 10, 11 the latest. But those days we were like getting up early because like we're like, oh, like let's go get breakfast and actually have something in our stomach before we go on a tour, or before we go like walking around the town or whatever. Oh, my eye is so red, you guys. I put eye drops in my eye and it's like I thought it would do something, so like I just keep rubbing my eye, and my mom keeps telling me to not rub my eye, but I can't help it. um So, anyways, the Dodgers Palace was a cool little thing. Again, go check out the content on my channel, My Vision, the number 4, the letter U, and see what that trip was really like from that perspective. So I loved Italy for the sense that like it was just such a different environment. First of all, the food, okay? I'm going to get into all of it with you. I'm going to go through my entire trip and tell you what I loved, what I wouldn't recommend, what I didn't I don't know if there's anything I didn't really love. But so first started off in Venice. We stayed there for like 3 days. So we did the gondola ride the first day, the Dodgers Palace the second day, and then we left for Rome, I believe, on the third day. So, oh gosh, my eyes. Well, my eyes, not even my left eye. It's mostly my right eye. I think I need to figure that out at some point. Sorry, forgive me for my distraction. Being in the town, like the city set part of Venice, was a cool little experience. I got me a Venetian scarf and a nice little hat because it's hot out there. Anyways, Venice is the type of place where you have to get around basically on foot or by boat or water taxi. So like there's no physical streets like if you're in other parts of Italy. Rome is different. Rome, you get around via like a car. I'm sure they have a bus. I'm not sure. But like I feel like Rome is more of like a modern-ish type of city. So okay, Venice was fine, but then Rome was different, and I personally like there's one memory I will always keep in Rome. Like all of these are great memories. Sorry, I'm also losing my voice. Please forgive me. So in Rome, we went to the Colosseum and the Vatican, and the Vatican had to be my favorite experience by far if we're talking tours, simply because of the fact that like the tour guide was not only like really nice, she was also super super accommodating. Now, if you've been on this podcast and you've been subscribed to me for a while now, you know I can't see, right? So we come into the Vatican, and honestly, I didn't think that I was going to enjoy these tours as much as I really did. But like the Vatican was so different because I feel like a lot of these tours are so visual, and so I wasn't expecting it to actually be like accommodating, or for the tour guide to be accommodating. So I met her. She was super super nice. I love her. Shout out to you if you ever come across this. And the whole time she's like, okay, come, you're gonna walk with me, meaning me. I was gonna walk with her in the front, so my family was like walking behind us or like next to us, whichever way they felt like going. And basically like I got the chance to like touch the sculptures, a lot of the sculptures that you could touch. Like I actually, or even the ones that you really couldn't touch, but like the guards and the tour guide, like they let me. Some of them, but not all of them. I'm not gonna be like a rule breaker or whatever, but some of them they did let me touch. Others they were a little bit more like skeptical for like obvious reasons. Um, and so there was this one that we came across, which is like an angel with like all these different instruments, and it had like a braille plaque on the front, basically describing like what the painting, the sculpture, was about. And so, um, that was such a special memory for me, and I feel like it really showed me how people are super kind and people can be super nice and helpful and caring and accommodating, and that not everybody is like mean and, you know, discriminatory or, you know, all the things that I've experienced before. And it almost made me feel really emotional, and it kind of did. I just didn't really say anything because I don't get to have that level of, I'm getting emotional now. I'm sorry. I don't really get the chance to like get that level of like interaction and like moment of like feeling like I could be a part of this experience. And it's a hard thing to find, and I felt like it was such a rare moment, but it's one that like really sticks out in my mind. And I think that for me, I've never been the type of person that likes going to museums just for the sake of going to them, because I know so many of them are visual and they don't let you interact with the sculptures or the, you know, the things. And so in that moment, in those moments where we were walking through the Vatican, her and I giggling and laughing and sharing cool moments with each other and talking and getting to know each other, like it was really, really cool because she wasn't just doing that just for the sake of doing it, you know? It was clear that she actually like genuinely cared and wanted me to feel a part of it. And I will never, never, never not be grateful for that. I think it's really hard to find moments where I actually feel like I can be a part of an experience, especially if it's something that's super, super visual. And so in those moments, in that moment where she like let me interact with the things and let me really feel the beauty and the art and all the things that were around me, I honestly like, I felt, I don't know what the word is to use, but I felt like, you know, I felt super, super appreciative because not a lot of these people on these tour guides, like these tours or these tour guides or, you know, things you do, these activities, these museums and things are accessible and are accommodating and are, you know, friendly people that actually care and want you to feel like you can be a part of the experience and want you to be a part of the experience. So that moment like really, really clearly sticks out in my mind. And of course, like the Coliseum was nice too. Like the tour guide let me touch a lot of the stuff there as well. It was just different this time because it's like we had a good connection. And so because we had a good connection, like, and we were able to like develop that connection as we were like walking through the Vatican and the Sistine Chapel and like letting me touch all the things that I was able to in the Sistine Chapel and in the Vatican. Like those moments are super, super special. And so I've just been like super, super grateful for that, and I will forever be grateful for that. So Rome was cool, you know. I tried gelato, like the real Italian gelato for the first time. And that was amazing. It was so great. Like I was obsessed. Every single night I was like, "Can I please get gelato? Can we please go get gelato?" Like I know there's a gelato spot not too far from here. So I really was just like wanting to have gelato every single day, and I'm pretty sure I did. Food was amazing. I think there was only one place we went where the food wasn't 100% great and the like service wasn't 100% great, but everywhere else we went was like really good. Like the food was really good. Also, one thing I learned too in Italy is like their portions for like how they eat is completely different to how we in the United States eat. Like certain restaurants we went to and things, like the portions were so small. Like I remember I think it was like the first restaurant we went to when we like first got to Italy. Like my brother and I, one of my brothers and I, we got the same dish, and like we're both thinking like, oh, it's gonna be enough for like both of us to have, and it was literally like three pieces of pasta and like two pieces of lobster, and I'm like, what is that? Like, is what? And I guess like I don't know, like any Italian people, I might have to ask my Italian friend, but oh my god, my freaking eye, the shit is bothering me. I'm sorry. This is just so freaking annoying. Um but like the food was really really good aside from like the one place we went to in Milan where the food was like gross. Um Also, I don't know. I get why people love going to Milan because it's like a fashion capital. I personally like, we went to the Dormo, which is like one of the churches, the Dormo, which is one of the churches. We went to see the first ever like Prada store, the Dior store. Like, Milan's a big fashion capital. So obviously like my family like wanted to go there for that purpose. I wouldn't say that I hated it. I didn't hate it. I just personally would have skipped out on Milan. I'm glad that I did get to experience what it's like. This way I know next time that it's not somewhere I really want to go back to. Unless someone's inviting me to be a part of like Fashion Week, then like, cool, sign me up. Thank you. Other than that though, Lake Como had to be one of my favorites. It was such a dope experience. We got to do a boat ride for my brother's birthday. We celebrated his birthday out there, which was really cool. And I also realized, like, even then, where, like, the boat ride was so visual, because they were seeing, like, all the villas, the celebrities' villas, all the other things, the vibes. I was taking in the feeling of being out on the water, the hair in my... I was going to say the hair in my wind. Okay. The wind in my hair, the sun on my face. Like, I was just really taking in that. And I feel like for me too, to be honest, that was special too, because I usually get pretty upset when things are like only visual. And I know like you're going to be like, ugh, Gabby, really? Like, don't be that person. But like, it's true. I think things should be inclusive. And like when things aren't, it makes me upset. So for something like being on a boat ride, like, you're probably just like, okay, whatever, you're on the water, it's whatever. But like, it wasn't whatever to me, because the guy driving the boat was like, well, this is this person's villa and this is that person's villa, and everybody's like, oh, it's so beautiful, and I'm just like, yeah, it's gorgeous, Gorgina. But in reality, like, I was just really just fine chilling there, sitting, enjoying the boat ride, and enjoying the breeze, and enjoying the company, the music, the Veuve Clicquot, if I'm being honest, which is champagne. If you've never had it, please do yourself a favor and give it a try. So Lake Como was definitely my favorite out of like the four. I did like Venice though. Venice was a pretty cool place as well. And of course Rome, partially for the fact that like I got to have that experience. But yeah, like I really would definitely go back to Venice. I'd go back to Rome just to see my friend. I'd go back to Lake Como, but I definitely want to go to other parts of Italy as well. I want to go to Florence. I want to go to Naples. I want to go to Sicily. So there's a list. I have a list of places. But overall, like, it was definitely a wonderful experience. And if you have ever had the chance to go to Italy, please let me know about it over on my Instagram at mindful.minute_. Are you a content creator who is looking for background music and high quality sound effects to use in your content? Well, look no further. I know the fuss. I know how annoying it can be. Trust me. But Epidemic Sound is your one-stop resource to help you with your content creation. You guys, I have been using Epidemic Sound for such a long time. Like, I think I started using it last year. And truthfully, one of the best discoveries I've ever made when it comes to my content creation, because I love making content, but even more than that, like, I love finding really cool music and sound effects to use. So, if you want to get started and if you want to stop having to fuss to find good sound effects and even better background music to use in your content, please do yourself a favor. Go on over to my Instagram at mindful.minute_. Click that link in my bio, you guys, and check out my Epidemic Sound link that will help you get started today. Trust me when I say this. It is going to be the best decision you've ever made, if I'm being honest. Like, it's going to help you so much. You're not going to have to keep on trying to use, other things to help yourself out. And that's not even the best part, you guys. The best part about this is it's all non-copyright free music. So you don't have to worry about copyrighted claims on your channel and your TikToks. I don't know if they have copyright claims on TikToks. I don't know. But even if they do, you can be one step ahead of that and be like, you know what? I don't have to worry about a copyright claim. I got my Epidemic Sound. Like, I'm good. So, again, head on over to my Instagram at mindful.minute_. Click the link in my bio and check out the Epidemic Sound link to help you get started today. Let me know how it goes. Let's talk about some different topics. I'm really trying to extend the length of this podcast episode because I feel like it's always like super, super short. And I just checked and it was only like 20 minutes that I was talking. So whatever. Let's talk about how I've been feeling self-care wise and self-love wise. And honestly, like where I've been with my self-care journey. I know you probably don't really care that much, but if it does help you in any way, then I'm glad that I was able to help. I feel like recently I have been trying my best to not like doubt myself. And I've been trying my best to like look at things in a different way, because before, I never shared with you guys that I actually launched my website. I think I did mention it in the previous episode. I could be wrong, but hey, I'm mentioning it here again. I just launched my website. So if you or anybody you know is looking for a speaker, check out my site in the show notes. Okay, sorry, that was totally not relevant to what I was saying, but it kind of is. Ever since I launched my website, I've kind of been like in a different type of mood lately, because I launched it right before I left to go to Italy. So honestly, like it was kind of just like boom, and then I didn't really get to like, I shared it out, but like I feel like no one really, whatever. So just getting comfy. Where's my sparkling water? Ugh, so ever since the site was launched, I have been trying so hard to just like get in the mood of creation and and just really like try to hit the ground running with ideas. I think my one issue is the fact that like I don't have a team, which we know. I've talked about this before. So it's sometimes hard when you have these ideas and you don't know how to like execute them. This has been a whole topic on my channel. But my friends are amazing people who I love so much, and the two that actually helped me launch my site, they were super, super supportive of an idea that I've been working on. And so I'm really just like in the mode to like create and like, be in that mindset. And I'm trying to like, make that the forefront of what I want to do right now. I think the hardest thing for me is like, because I am someone who is super, super passionate, when I like really get into something, it's hard because then I like beat myself up because I'm like, well, you're not trying hard enough, or like you could have reached out to that person and you didn't, or you did reach out to that person and you just like, whatever. So oh, that was so gross and disgusting. I'm sorry. That was so gross and rude. I meant. Um so that's just how I am. And if you are anything like me, honestly, it's super hard to say like, oh, just snap out of it, cuz like I can't even snap out of it. Like honestly, it's a super difficult thing for me to deal with because I feel like I get super 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 like overly invested into something, and the minute I'm like shut down by anybody, I'm just like, oh, well, that idea fucking sucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sucks. And I think that like that's such a difficult thing because like I have a passion and I believe in it. So like why am I getting down on myself if like someone else like shuts my idea down? Like at the end of the day, it's my idea. You know what I'm saying? And it's something I believe in, and it's something I think that can actually grow and develop and become something super super beautiful. But I think that, you know, a lot of the times being rejected, being turned away for things, or just simply like people just not understanding like what it is I want to do, I think like I tend to like I tend to like really really get into a mood of like, well, I fucked up. Like I really did mess up major time. Like because the people that I sometimes I'm like, oh, like that person could really really be beneficial if they like, got back to me or if whatever. And then when they don't, and I'm sitting here thinking it's such a toxic mentality, truthfully, because like if someone doesn't get back to me, I'm like, well, clearly I didn't try hard enough, or like I reached out so many times, like I don't want to be a bother, which we know if you've been a OG on this podcast, then you know how I feel about reaching out and burdening people with my shit. So sorry about that. Um so that's really just kind of like my mentality, but seeing that like I am going to an event that can actually help me in the future with like the event I want to put together for my own business, I think that like it already is a major step for me that I'm taking, and I'm really proud of myself for that because I like, and the thing is too, like it's so like flip-floppy, right? Because like the minute someone's like, oh my gosh, like I totally support that, then I get even more overly invested, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's someone that actually cares and like wants to help and wants to be a part of this. And so, I know like there are definitely people in my life that do care and like want to see me succeed and support me, but I think like even if it is someone that does support me and like they're like, no, like that idea is not great, I'm still just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like I I want this to be a thing. And so, I don't know, y'all. I'm just really trying to like put my energy into my creativity mode and like kick it into high gear, and to just really like once I go to this event next week, like just really really network my ass off. Like I want to come home exhausted. Like I literally want to come home and just be like, I'm going to sleep. Like I don't, because I feel like the reason why a lot of people don't want to go to networking events too is because of like, oh, it's too exhausting, it's too this, it's too that. I get all, like, trust me. If it's one person that loves their bed more than me, there's no one. Like, it's literally me. Like, there's no one that exists that loves their bed more than I do. Like, I'm in the bitch right now. I'm in my bed right now. So, like, there's like no doubt about it. But I also am the type of person that like I love I love meeting people. So like those moments where I get super excited about things and I actually want to attend a networking event, or like any event that's like that has to do along the lines of like what I want to do, whether it's content creation, motivational speaking, which is like a hard event, like a networking event to find, but you know, we'll figure that out eventually. Um I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I have to go. Even if it's like the most boring shit ever and I like, don't enjoy it, I at least want to meet people. Like I love meeting people. I like asking questions. I like, I like all of that stuff. Like it really does make me, I don't know what it is. It just gives me like super excited and it gets me like ready. And I'm just like, I start prepping like weeks in advance. I'm just like, okay, like if I go, I need to have more business cards. I need to make sure this is in place. I need to make sure like I can give them my website if they ask for it. Like all these things. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just ready to like create. I'm ready to like get this business like really, really fully going. And so like self-care and self-love is a big part of that, obviously. And I feel like I've been slacking because like only last month or so I was like super, super, super like into like my self-care routines. And this is something we talked about, and I'm sure like some of you also struggle with this to the point where like maybe you get into your routine, but then after a while like it starts to just like you just forget to do it every single day. So that's just kind of like how I am too, and I'm striving my best to like not be that way. Like I'm really trying to practice what I preach, basically. Like, cause honestly, like I've been honest with y'all, and I will continue to be honest with you. But I think, I think for me, it's hard sticking to a routine because like it's not even that I lose interest in it. I think it's just like I get my days where like I'm just a lazy girl. Like I don't do shit, and I even forget that like self care is a thing I need to do even on those days. And it honestly, it's okay if you fall off every now and then, but like try not to be anything like me. Like this is why I do what I do. This is why I love like being a podcaster and sharing moments like this and like being honest, is because I want you guys to be like, "Oh, like I don't want to be that way, but like I am this way and I want to figure out how to not be that way." So like, this is why my podcast is so helpful. Personally speaking, I'm just going to hype myself up, gas myself up a little bit. Um is because of the fact that like I am experiencing a lot of these things that you guys may be going through with you. Like I'm also not perfect at self-care routines. I'm not perfect with my meditation things, but I'm also working on it. Like we're all a work in progress. Like Megan Trainor said it. I've been working on it. Working on it. Oh, y'all didn't know I could sing? Yeah, I sing. I sing. Excuse me. Um, but we're a work in progress, you guys, and we're not meant to be perfect. And the truth is, like, we're gonna have those days. We're gonna have a week shit, maybe, where we just aren't on our shit, where we're not like doing what we need to do. But like now that I'm back from Italy, your girl's trying to like get her fitness shit going, trying to eat better. I ate way too much damn pasta. I had way too much gelato, and then I came back to New York and I had more freaking gelato. So I don't know what to say, but I'm trying to be a better person as much as I possibly can, and I'm striving to be a better person as much as I can. But let's be honest, like there's gonna be things that like happen, and there's gonna be days where we're not fully dedicating our 100% selves to what we are trying to do. But I think it's still something like we are definitely like doing what we need to get done. And I think that's the most that we can ever like try to like tell ourselves. Like even if today was like a hard day and you still got up and like meditated and made your bed, there, like you accomplished something, even if you like were just like, fuck it, I'm not doing anything else. So that's what I want to say about that. Are you passionate about a topic surrounding mental health, self-care, and wellness? And do you have tips and tricks that you'd like to share with the rest of the audience? If you are passionate about those things, well, I can help you out. I can help you to share your message with people. I'd love to feature you on my podcast. So, if you'd like to be featured and you have topics that you are really passionate about that you'd like to share with us, then head on over to my Instagram, give me a follow, and shoot me a DM and let me know what the things are that you would like to discuss. And if you really don't want to be featured on the podcast, but you'd still like your voice to be heard, Spotify is now offering you guys an option to actually send me in voice messages. So, the link in my bio will have the voice message link and in the show notes here. So if you really, really want to discuss something with me and you want to tell me something, I can be able to share your message with everyone here on the podcast when I go to record. So you can either send me a DM and you can be featured on the podcast and be a guest, or you can have your voice message be sent in to me and I can play it on the podcast and share it with everybody. Your choice. But either way, it's all going to be on my Instagram at mindful.minute_. Check it out. Truthfully, I don't know. Some of these podcasters like have scripts and things that they write out. I'm not a script girl. Like I don't write scripts out when I go to record. I don't know if that like makes any of you upset about that, but like I just like to like talk. Like I like talking to you guys. I like sharing things with you guys. Sorry if I'm making a lot of noise with the microphone. But I almost knocked my bottle of sparkling water over. I'm almost done. So let's talk about dating, because I feel like we haven't brought that one up here on the podcast, and I don't know if any of you are interested. Also, not judging. When I looked at that is no longer sparkling water. Ugh. When I looked at the demographics for the people that listen to me, a lot of it is like female. So thank you, girls. Thank you so much. Or anybody that associates as a girl. Thank you. I feel like I definitely like, I don't know. And I think a lot of you are like in the category of people that are like recently out of college or in college. So I love that. I love being able to like help y'all out. And I saw that there's some people a little bit older, which thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I don't know if I've ever really expressed a lot of my gratitude, but I hope you know that I am very, very grateful for you. So let's talk about dating, shall we? For a while now, I have been trying to find me a boo thing. Okay, we know this. It's been a topic that actually I didn't discuss it here. Wait a minute. I think I'd never really discussed it. Actually, wait, no, that's a lie. I did with my friend once. But my other podcast with my friend Jordan, we talked about relationships with a mutual friend of ours that we went to school with. So, if you want to support me over there too, it's Misguided Discourse. So, anyways, dating, right? I've been trying to find me a boo thing for a while now. And I realize I don't really discuss like dating and relationships on here, even though it is a big part of like self-care and self-love is like a huge part of like relationships and things. Hold on, I'm just gonna move some stuff over. Okay. So, like I said, I've been trying to find me a boo. It's been a bit of a struggle. Not a bit of a struggle. It's been a major, big-ass fucking struggle because I have been failing miserably. The thing is, a lot of the people I know don't feel comfortable trying to help me. And the thing is, I'm not a big, don't get me wrong, I'm a very friendly and social person, but it's really hard for me when it comes to, like, meeting guys because I feel like it's more pressure on me to, like, try to be perfect, right? Like, I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day because I met a guy, I want to say, like, a few weeks ago. And I thought that, like, the connection in person was, like, pretty cool. Like, I thought we were, like, we were vibing, you know. Even if we were just friends. Like, I wasn't even trying to, like, date the guy. Like, even if we were just friends. Like, me trying to become friends with a guy feels like such a task for me because it makes me feel like I have to be super, super perfect and, like, can't be like, oh, whatever. But, like, apparently guys like when you, like, show a little bit of your flaws or whatever. I don't know if that's true. Guys, please confirm in the comments on Instagram. So anyways, I was talking to my friend about it because I'm like, listen, like, it's easier for me when I'm just, like, talking to people casually in the sense that, like, I just want to be a friend with somebody or I want to, like, get to know someone. And so she's like, why is it easier for you, like, in that sense versus, like, the romantic way? And I'm just like, well, because, like, if someone doesn't want to be my friend, then that's fine. Like, okay, bye, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a little bit difficult too, because like you're probably thinking like, well, damn, like I really wanted to get to know that person. Well, maybe that's just a sign. Like I started looking at things that way, right? So I started looking at it as like, oh, well, that person clearly doesn't want to talk to me. They're not interested. So that's just a sign from the universe that like maybe it's just not something that's supposed to be happening, or maybe they're just having a bad day. Like I make up all these like bullshit excuses, and maybe they're not all bullshit, but whatever. So I met this guy, and I thought he was cool. Like I was like, oh, you're fine. He's not really fine, if I'm being honest. Even a blind girl could tell. Actually, that's a lie. I heard from my sources that he is kind of cute. But anyways, we were talking and chatting, and I was asking him all these questions, and I thought like the connection was cool, right? But then like it was not. Like I totally was like so fucking wrong, because I like tried to reach out, and it just was like I got no answer. And then I see him posting on his story, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, totally, yeah, you do you then. And I feel like this is why I've kind of paused my search, because of the fact that like, one, I'm really just like now fully focused on my business. Like I want this shit to grow. With that being said, like I paused my search because after I didn't get a response back, or even like a, hey, I'm super busy right now, I'll get back to you later message, which is like a principle thing. Like anybody should do that, you know? I felt upset, because I was like, I tend to beat myself up a lot. We've talked about this many a times. But the fact that like I beat myself up because of my disability, like I'll be like, oh, well, because I'm blind, like he didn't reach out to me, and he found out like I can't see. Like I wasn't trying to catfish him in person, but like I can't see. Like that's just a part of my life. It's not everything that I am, but it is a part of my life. Like if you're going to get to know me, you have to understand like that is what it is. You know, I can't change that. And so I was telling my friend all of this, and she's like, well, I don't think that's what it is. And I'm like, but there's no telling. Like I assume until I know the facts. So I assumed like this is what it is. And I just paused my search, because I'm just like, well, clearly it's not my time to start dating. So if you're in the same pool as me, and you're in the deep end, and you're trying to like swim, and it's a bit of a struggle, just come back to the shallow end. It's fine. It's a difficult thing to do, because I feel like I really like work myself up. Like, and that's the thing too. Like even meeting friends and like trying to become friends with people, I feel like I really like strive to put myself out there in a way where like, but then like meeting guys, it's like I really do work up so much courage to like actually talk to them and ask them questions. Like it's not something that comes easy to me. You know, some girls just have it easy. Like they're able to just turn around and be like, haha, okay, whatever, and start flirting. I don't have that like that level of, you know, talent or whatever. I don't know what you would call it. But I don't have that level of like knowledge of like how to really, and I'm not a great flirt, if I'm being honest either. Like I'm not the best at flirting, but whatever. I'm being honest. I should change this to the Too Honest podcast, but whatever. To the To Be Honest podcast. Oh, hold on. No one else is allowed to use that. I might have a possible idea for that. Okay, cool. I'm kidding. If you want to use it, go ahead. So yeah, you guys, I paused my search. I feel like maybe I'm just not the girlfriend material. Maybe I'm just not girlfriend material. I don't know. I hate saying these things about myself, because like personally, sometimes I get in these moods, guys. Like I get these modes where like I'll be like hyping myself up, and I'm like, girl, you the shit. Like you are the bitch. You ain't a bitch. You the main bitch, okay? And like I really hype myself up, but then when shit like this happens, I'm like, who are you? Like, are you kidding yourself right now? You are not, like, there's no way you're girlfriend material. But then it's also, I don't know, I also think it's the guys that I try to, like, I attract as well. So that could be the potential thing. So yeah, I mean, that's really what it is, honestly. Like, it's just a struggle anyways. I don't know how some girls are like catching these guys out here, but any of you who got a man, please share your tips and tricks on how you got that man, because I'd like to know for myself so I can go out and get me a man sometime. I don't know. I feel like, and I told all my friends this, like, I be having my girl chats. Sorry, girls, I'm breaking the chat right now, but I like, I don't know, I just, like, I have these days where, like, I'll be like, no, I'm on my shit, like, I'm doing my thing, I don't care about these guys, but then I have those days where I'm like, but I want a boyfriend, like, I want someone to come pick me up and take me out, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. But hey, what can I do? A girl can just wait and hope and pray and just, you know, do what she got to do. That's really all I can possibly do right now. So anyways, this is gonna be the, oh my god, is a woman perfume almost tipped right over. No, Ariana, stand up. Oh, we're not gonna talk about her. She's been getting me upset. Anyways, if you want to hear about how upset I am, and if you want me to add more segments to the podcast, be sure to let me know in the comments. You know the Instagram, I've said it multiple times, at mindful.minute_. There you go, I said it again. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.